So I think we might have ourselves the best comic book movie of the year.
Really?
Yeah. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. We're going to be giving you our review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the latest MCU movie. No spoilers, so don't worry about that right up front. We will have a spoiler review that drops the day the movie comes out. Definitely hit that like button. Comment what you anticipate in Shang-Chi down below. How excited are you for it? And make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Cam, what'd you think?
Best MCU origin movie.
I thought you were about to say best MCU movie and drop a bomb on the people.
We got to see it twice, two days in a row. I'm happy to announce that the rewatchability of this movie is extremely high.
It's a very rewatchable movie. I was worried about that. I really was, because the first time we saw the movie, we were very distracted by someone who was rubbing their hands together in the screening, so it was really making a ruckus. Yeah, very irritating. On rewatch, I caught a lot of key exposition moments that I had missed, so the third act issues that I had were kind of resolved a bit and cleared up a little more for me. Simu Liu is a star in the making. I absolutely loved him as Shang-Chi, and I think that he completely owned every scene he was in. I was eating it up. I can't wait to see more of him, but it's not just him. It's his chemistry with Awkwafina. I think they're the best Phase 4 duo in the MCU.
I loved them. I love Awkwafina. Like, she is one of those people where if there's too much of her, it can be annoying.
Yeah.
Perfect amount. They actually use her as a character. She's not just there for comedy, which is what I thought she was going to be there for originally. But no, yeah, their chemistry is really good together. They just bounce off each other really well.
Speaking of chemistry, I've said this in my Twitter review, and I'm here to say, to me, and I think you will agree with the statement, this is the funniest MCU movie.
Yeah.
So Ragnarok has this slapstick kind of humor, same with like Drax and Guardians. It's like clownish, but in this it's relatable humor that you might see like conversationally with your friends.
They could be saying something that's not a joke, but it's the way they say it that makes it funny, and that's the type of humor that I subscribe to. Not like War Machine making a joke about choking baby Thanos.
Or like Drax being invisible, like whatever. It's not just a humorous movie, like it's got some of the best action sequences we've seen in a long time. And if you're gonna see this movie, I recommend checking it out on IMAX because the action sequences are riveting. There's one on a bus. I'm mad at Marvel for releasing a clip because I think it would have been cooler for everyone to see in theaters.
With, like, the music and everything.
The score is banging in this movie. It's one of the most slept on scores already. I feel like most people will have it under the radar, but I think it's a top tier MCU score. Yeah. Really enhances the action sequences. There is a scene that you also saw on Twitter on scaffolding that's really intense. And the third act, I'm not going to say what happens because you guys have to watch the movie. It's epic. That's all I'm going to say. There are some epic showdowns and scenes in this movie. And admittedly, something that happens in the third act I won't say. It's a little out there for me, to say the least. I think that people will be able to still get on board with it. It was a lot easier the second time around for me to be on board with.
When there's a lot of stuff happening on screen, it's really hard to take in what's going on, especially if it's a lot of CGI, which is in almost every Marvel movie. Yeah. It's really hard to understand like what you're looking at upon your first watch. But upon the second watch, like, oh, I know exactly what I'm looking at, so I can actually figure out what it is that's happening.
We are being very vague on purpose. Kind of bouncing off the third act, it goes to show how great the storytelling and lore / world building of this movie is.
I think
it's really unique and creative.
I think that this is the best world building in the MCU. Yeah. Better than Wakanda, better than Guardians. There is a lot of background and a lot of legend on this places they go. Like what happened to Chris in the first round of us watching the movie. If you get distracted by something, you're gonna miss a lot of exposition that's gonna be crucial by the end of the movie. I think the first hour and a half of this movie is some of the best Marvel you've ever gotten. Yes. In terms of humor, but also the action sequences are some of the best, well-directed, well-choreographed. Like, I don't know who the stunt team is for this movie, but whoever you are, you did an amazing job.
Absolutely. The stunt work, just the choreography of the fight scenes is riveting. It immersed me fully and I was locked in. Like, on rewatch, the pacing is there. Like, this movie flies by on rewatch, and I will say there are some fan service moments that I appreciated. I liked them. So one aspect of this movie that we have not mentioned is the villain, and the actor Tony Leung, excuse me if I pronounce the name wrong, plays Wenwu in this movie, and you see in the shots of Shang-Chi versing off against this character, this is one of the more fleshed out, emotionally powerful and resonant villains, I would say, in the MCU. They give him the time that is due. Marvel does not usually give characters like villainous roles screen time they deserve. It's very much the Vulture treatment, in my opinion, which is awesome. I'd say is arguably a top 5 MCU villain.
One thing that I have always said about Marvel movies is that Marvel movies become a top tier Marvel movie when a villain is like done really well, given a good background, and you can kind of almost have a little bit of empathy for the villain, or you're just invested in the villain. The movie is 10 times better. And they did that in Shang-Chi. Part of this movie is like all in a different language and you read off of subtitles, and the movie is so good. I don't even notice that I'm listening to Chinese.
It reminds me of like Inglourious Basterds with Tarantino. The opening of that movie has like 15 minutes in like different languages, and you're just fully locked in because the script is that good. What is happening on screen, visual storytelling is there. It's really something to lock you in. There are 2 post-credit scenes. They're both worth the watch. Have moderate expectations. Don't overhype yourself, but they are really good post-credit scenes.
I have been seeing so much about one of the post-credit scenes of people being like, the theater erupted in deafening applause. And I'm like, that just simply did not happen.
They're still very cool. If you're a Marvel fan, you will like both of them.
My jaw dropped. I went like...
So when it comes down to it, Shang-Chi is one of the most fun times I've had at the movie in quite some time. And it's honestly a movie that I can't get out of my mind, which I think is a good thing. The action is amazing. It's a funny movie. There's a great villain, and there's great motivation for both hero and villain. That makes for a top 10 MCU movie. I really love this one. I would love to see this one again in IMAX, hopefully opening night. So if I have to give this movie a rating, I'm going 4.5 out of 5. Easily one of, if not my favorite movies of the year. It's honestly up there with The Suicide Squad, and it might just top it. I have to give this one more watch. I have to give them both one more watch, but it's damn near topping The Suicide Squad, which I love. It's a culturally impactful film, and Simu Liu is here to stay. This is one you definitely don't want to miss. See it in IMAX.
Can't wait to see Simu and Awkwafina in the MCU again. Listen, you guys know how much I love Sam and Bucky. I think Simu and Awkwafina could be a better duo.
Hot take.
They're just so funny.
No, yeah, I think they're better. So I think I said that in a tweet or something, but yeah.
I also give this movie a 4.5 out of 5, so a solid 9. When I upon first watch, it was like between an 8 and an 8.5, and then now it bumped up to a 9 after the second watch.
Can't really get into my nitpicks in the non-spoiler review.
It's definitely a top tier MC movie.
Yeah, top 10.
And it's definitely better than Black Widow.
It's better than Black Widow, but I still really like Black Widow. That is not slander.
Really like Black Widow. That wasn't slander at all.
But that's going to do it for our non-spoiler review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Definitely hit that like button. Comment how excited you are for the movie down below. Do you have any predictions? So thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe to all of Cam's stuff and follow her social medias. They're linked down below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here for the Film Stock channel. And at the time of watching this, the No Way Home trailer might be coming out later today. It might have already come out. So there's going to be a reaction for that very soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time. See you guys later.
We got this really cool poster.
We did. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So we just saw Paw Patrol 2.
Best movie of the year.
Best movie of the year. Let's talk about it.